Just got a message from my partner, Phil. We are at 40x ROI, 1,000 spent in Facebook ads and $40,000 returned. And I am going to show you the very ads in this video and how to set them up. Insanely cheap Facebook ads? 32 sales calls booked from Facebook ads for a high ticket product for $26 a piece? No, this is not 2015. This is just yesterday. As you can see here, 32 calls booked for an average of $26 a piece, and costs are still going down. I sat down to record this video a few days later and look, 50 calls booked for $21 a piece. I am going to show you how to do it in this video. You will need a high converting opt-in page like this here. You will also need a high converting VSL webinar or case study page like this here. And if you don't have those things, don't worry, Papa Henry got you. I will give you a downloadable copy of this funnel that you can literally change, fill in the blanks, and you'll have my funnel that has done well over $10 million. And if you're not good at creating VSLs and case studies and webinars, don't worry, in future videos, I'm going to cover it. By the end of this training, you should be able to have everything you need to have a fully booked sales calendar for your high ticket offer. And when you do have a fully booked sales calendar and you need professional certified closers to close those deals for you, you can head over to closedeals.com and we'll see if we can get you one. Don't worry, little entrepreneur baby. I'll help you grow into a big, strong online marketer. All right, so let's get started. All right, so it is the next day. Thank you for noticing my fresh haircut. I recorded this yesterday, but my whole computer crashed and I lost it, so I'm doing it again. That's why you'll notice the metrics are a little different. So what we have here is 174 opt-ins. We have for $475 a piece and 36 calls for only $25 a piece. And this is a $10,000 offer. So you can see if you were getting calls for a $5,000 or $10,000 high ticket offer for just $25 a piece, imagine what it would be like if you were booking high ticket calls for that little from Facebook ads of all places. Most people are paying $200, $300, some even $500 or $600 per call. First of all, you will need a great offer that people love. If you don't have that, well, then none of this is gonna help you. My offer that we did 8 figures for, it was how to become a high ticket coach, meaning how to raise your prices, how to stop selling stuff for 2K and charge 10, 15, 20. And so this was the landing page, very simple, how to create your first high ticket offer, even if it's your first offer ever. And it's a very simple landing page with a headline and a button. You click on the button, it asks you for your name and your email. Yes, I want access now, boom. It goes to this page. This page, again, has a headline, okay, and it has a video. And this is a video sales letter. Some might call it a mini webinar, whatever. I like to call it a whiteboard webinar. It's a short 10 to 15 minute video presentation where I just scribble on a whiteboard and explain things, and then I make a pitch to book a call. What I actually did here was I made 7 different versions of this video. I ran ads directly to this page where, as you can see, there is a application right below the video. You fill that application out, you go to the next page, you book a call. I ran ads directly here to 7 different versions of this webinar, and out of the 7, 6 of them sucked, 1 of them was awesome, and once I figured out which one was awesome, meaning which one had the lowest cost per booked call, then I added the opt-in so that I could get emails and follow-up. If you have a VSL that's not working for your offer or a webinar or whatever, it's likely you just haven't tried enough versions. I literally said the same exact thing 7 times. 1 kicked off, the rest didn't. This is a secret that most people don't realize. You can really just say the same thing multiple times, try different versions, and maybe your face in just one of them looked, and in another one it looked, and people are like, I like the and then it works. So just try different variations. Okay, so once you have a landing page like this and a very simple VSL page, and which, by the way, if you don't have this, I will give you in the description a link to download my 8-figure high ticket funnel right here. You can actually have the funnel you're looking at right now. I'll give it to you. It's yours. It's free. Bam. So check the link in the description for that. Okay, next we're gonna pop into our Facebook ads dashboard and we're gonna create a new campaign. So I'm gonna hit create, I'm gonna click conversions, and I'm going to name the campaign. I'm gonna name this dummy so that I know that this is not a real campaign, and I'm just doing it for YouTube. And then for the ad set, I'm gonna name it, this is gonna be my master ad set. I call it my master ad set. And here's what I want you to view the master ad set as. Imagine a car company comes out with a model of car, like a Corvette. And let's say that you don't like the features on the Corvette, but then they have a different one, like a convertible. Or maybe the next year, they add different features, a different wing. And now you buy that one because you really like that one. You see, it's the same car, it's the same model, but the car company will add different features and make it slightly different. And some models will resonate with people and some won't. And that's how they're able to sell a lot of cars, is that they don't just make one version and people like it or they don't. There's multiple versions for them to look at and try and buy. And so that's what we're gonna do here. We're gonna create one main master set, one main angle, and then we're gonna make multiple variations from it. And you can actually create hundreds of ads from just one simple idea. What's the idea for this? I'm gonna call this direct pitch. The reason I call this direct pitch is because I'm literally going to copy the headlines from the landing page and keep it super simple. In another angle, I might teach something in the copy about raising your prices. I might say, hey, you know, if you don't know what you're worth, how do you expect your customers to know what you're worth? And I might expand on that, and that's a different angle. But for this one, we're gonna keep it simple, and I'm just gonna call it direct pitch. So, direct pitch, and I'm gonna go after, let's just say, Russell Brunson. He's a popular figure in the online marketing world. I'm gonna go after the United States. I'm gonna go after ages 25 to 45, and then I'm gonna go after male, because this is my best guess at people that would want this offer. People who like Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels, they live in the United States, they're 25 to 45, and they're male. This is where I see my best guess at a target. And then what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna call this VAR1, and you'll see why I do that in a moment. So I'm gonna hit continue, and I've created this campaign. Everything's good in the campaign area. I'm gonna click on the ad set area. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the options that I've put here, okay? Well, first I've gotta select my pixel. So you select your pixel, you select the conversion event, and for that, I'm gonna select opt-in. And I made this simply, it's actually, that campaign's for a different campaign. I'm showing you the landing page and the VSL page for an older offer that I no longer sell, which is this one, because I don't sell courses anymore. I just give this stuff away for free on YouTube. But I'm showing you a proven landing page and VSL page. The one we're running right now is new, and so I'd rather show you one that has already done millions of dollars. So what all you do is you put the pixel on both of these pages, and you grab the link to this page, which is the page they go to after they opt in, and that creates your custom conversion. So you create a custom conversion based on that URL. If you don't know how to create that, just Google it. That's an easy little tech thing. But once you have that, you put that in here. So we are optimizing for opt-ins, right? And I'm gonna leave the budget at $20 a day because I believe that it's better to scale with low budget ad sets and more of them than just one winning ad and a bunch of money put into that and burning it out quicker. Now, am I saying this is the only way that works? No, it's just what worked for me. If it works for you, great, but there's a million different ways to make ads work. This is just what I like. Going down, I'm gonna choose United States, which we see here. That's already chosen. I'm gonna go to age, and I'm gonna select 25 to 45 right here, and I'm gonna select male. And then I'm gonna see if Russell Brunson, there he is, Mr. Russell Brunson. Oh, I chose soccer fans, so let's do that again. Russell Brunson, bam, okay? He owns ClickFunnels, so that's a funnel software, so it just makes sense. Okay, boom, so here we are. I have now chosen my master ad set. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna type in master, and from here, what I can do is I can create my ads, and then I can duplicate, which I'll show you. So pay very close attention to this part. It's gonna get a little complicated. So in VAR1, which is variation 1, I'm gonna make sure that my Facebook page and my Instagram page are selected. I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna select, well, first I'm gonna do my primary text, which is what I call the copy, and I'm gonna do my headline. So let's go over here and let's just do a simple direct pitch. So I'm gonna grab this right here, and here's a really cool thing you can do. I have two tools I use to just make this really fast. I have Yay Text and I have Convert Case. And I'll show you what these are in a second, but for convert case, I'm gonna pop this in and I'm gonna hit I'm gonna hit sentence case. And what that does is it converts it very quickly to a normal sentence case. And I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna pop this into my primary text, okay? And then I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna grab this other headline, which I think is another great headline, and I'm gonna pop this into convert case, and I'm gonna use capitalized case so the first letter of each one is selected, and I'm gonna pop that in there, boom, and I'm gonna capitalize the M because I think that looks cute, and I'm gonna add some media, okay? So I'm gonna hit add image, and let's see, I'm gonna grab this nice little picture of me in front of my friend's plane. He's a speaker and he uses this plane, his personal plane, to fly about and go to speaking gigs. And then I'm gonna just adjust this right here so you can see my nice sun behind the hair thing. I'm gonna hit next, done. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna grab the opt-in page URL, which is right here, and I'm gonna pop that in the website URL. Bam. And now we have an ad, right? Now, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you a really cool trick to spruce this ad up so that it pops out in the news feed. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the primary text, I'm gonna hit copy, I'm gonna go over here to yay text, and I'm gonna paste it in. And then it's gonna give me multiple versions of bold and italic and bold and italic. I'm gonna grab this first one I like, I'm gonna hit copy, I'm gonna go back over here, and I'm going to paste this in. And what this does is it gives me a nice bold text in my ad that you don't normally see in other ads because most people simply don't know how to do this. So it stands out in the newsfeed, actually allows you to bold or italicize your text in an ad. So if you haven't been using that tool, totally should use it. Okay, so now this is what I would consider variation one. Now what does variation one consist of? Well, it consists of headline version one plus copy version one plus image version one. An image would be the plain image, okay? So if you really want to, you could just do this plain image. I could just call it plain image if I wanted to, if I really wanted to just know which one it is. Now, most people, when they create multiple versions of ads, they will use the same text, the same headline, and different images. And I've done that in the past, and it works great. But what I've been on, the kick I've been on lately, is I like using the same image, but different headlines and different text. Seems to work really well. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna hit duplicate, and I'm gonna do at least 3 different versions of this ad. All right, so now what we're gonna do, in order to make each one of these unique, we're gonna create a different headline, or a headline version 2, and a different copy text, which is copy version 2. And I want you to view this like a closet. You have different shirts, you have different pants, you have different shoes, maybe a different hat. And if you combine these things in different ways, you get just an unlimited amount of outfits, right? Like maybe you have 5 shirts, 5 pants, 5 shoes, but as you mix and match those, you just get so many different combinations of what an outfit could be. And that's really what we're doing here. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take headline version 1 and I'm gonna create a different headline. So for instance, let's just go to this one right here and hit edit. So all I'm gonna do is change one thing in this ad, and that's the headline. So down to where the headline is, it says 5 things I learned about scaling my coaching business. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just write a different headline. So this one says 5 things I learned about scaling my coaching business to 25 million. Well, I'm gonna do free video, and I'm gonna do 5 keys to a 25 million coaching biz. So that's just a different headline. It's saying the same thing, but it's just different, all right? Free video, 5 keys, 25 million coaching biz. So now what this becomes is this becomes headline version 2 plus copy 1 plus plain image. And I'm gonna get rid of this copy thing. Bam, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna do the same thing, but this time I am going to create a different copy, or as they say it in Facebook ads, a different primary text. So for this, instead of how to create your first high ticket offer, I'm gonna say free video reveals the 5 things I changed in my coaching business to 10x my prices and hit 25 million in revenue, okay? And I'm gonna correct that, boom. And then again, I can just grab this. I can go over to Yay Text, paste it in, hit copy, go back, bam, it's bold. So now what we have here is we have copy 2. So now what we're going to do is we want to have one with both headline 2 and copy 2. So I'm going to grab copy 2. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to paste this in, and that's going to be copy 2. Get rid of this. And I also want headline 2. So I'm going to grab headline 2 from this other one, which is right here, and I'm going to pop that in right here. Okay, so now what do we have here? We have 4 variations of the same angle, the same ad. One is, and let's just go ahead and fix this. Since we have var1, we want to call each one of these var2, var3, and it doesn't matter which one is which, var4. Okay, so we have var1, which is headline 2 versus copy 1, var2, which is headline 1 versus copy 1, var3, which I put here, which is headline 2 versus copy 2, and version 4, which is headline 1 versus copy 2. The point here is that you want these multiple combinations. So now that we have this, again, it's all the same image, different copy, and different headline. We now have our master ad set, okay? We now have our master ad set, which is right here. So now that we've done this, we've done the majority of the work. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit duplicate. And I'm gonna duplicate this ad set. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete the master here, right? And I'm gonna change one thing, just one thing in the audience targeting, and that is gonna be, I'm gonna change it to female, okay? So now what do we have here? We have the same exact thing, but one is going to females and one is going to males. And both, so well, we've now just doubled our budget by creating another version of it. So let's say that this starts working, and you know, and again, that I like to run an ad for a few days, make sure it works, make sure the angle works, and if the angle works, then I start duplicating. Or you can make multiple audiences, multiple versions, and if some of them work, you just start doing more of what works and less of what doesn't. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hit duplicate, and I got the male and I got the female. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to go here, and again, I'm gonna get rid of that copy. And I'm gonna change one thing. Instead of Russell Brunson, let's do Gary V. I'll just do Gary V. And so I scroll down here, and I type in Gary Vaynerchuk, and I get rid of Mr. Russell Brunson. And then I go here, and I do the same thing. Whoop, nope. I go to, where's it at? Yep, see, here was the copy I made, female, and again, Gary V. I go down, Gary Vaynerchuk, I get rid of Russell Brunson. And so now what do I have? Now I have this angle, this direct pitch angle. I'm going after Russell Brunson, US 25 to 45, male and female. The same thing, but going after Gary V. So now instead of $20 a day, I'm spending $80 a day. And then what I can do is I can grab these two right here, and I can duplicate this again, hit duplicate, right? And this is the cool part. This is where it gets really neat. I do the same thing. I just go in here, and I got them both selected, so I can get rid of Gary V, and I can type in something else like internet marketing, or just whatever, right? Digital marketing, digital marketing. So I click on this, and I go up here, and I type in digital marketing. Get rid of the copy thing so we know that that was changed since duplication. Go back here, go to this one, which was the one I also created. Get rid of that copy that Facebook put in. Digital marketing. Bam. Okay, now, again, now I'm spending 20, 40, 60, 80, 120 a day. Now you say, okay, this is great, Dan, but do I got to rebuild all of this over again if I come up with a new angle? Or what about a new image, right? Ah, very, 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 very good. So let's say you want to do a new image. One thing I made a mistake is I didn't do this from the beginning, so I'm going to do it real quick. I'm just going to go in here, and I'm going to type in plain image, so that I have this identified in the ad set, so I know, okay, these are all plain images, right? So now I know that we have multiple audiences, we have male and female, and these are all the plain image. So if these are working, right? Or if I just wanted to test more or spend more, I select all, I hit duplicate, I duplicate this, right? So I've now duplicated all of this all over again. So from $120 a day, I'm now gonna be at $240 a day. And all I do is I make sure these are all selected. I go and I click on ads. Now all of these ads are selected that are I've just duplicated. I hit edit and I scroll down and I hit remove on the media. And from here I can add a video or like a different image. So for instance, let's do laser eyes. Bam, here's Dan with laser eyes. I like Dan with laser eyes. Dan with laser eyes is cool. All right, bop, bop, bop. Hit next, done. So now we have laser eyes. So now, again, in just a few minutes, as you can see, I've literally taken one idea with only 2 images and now I'm spending $240 a day. So I'm gonna go back to the ad set and I'm just gonna tediously click on each one, and instead of plain image, I'm gonna do laser eyes image. Okay, so now what you see is that you see, again, just two headlines, 2 things of copy, and 2 images, 1 idea, 1 angle. I now have literally $240 a day in ad spend. It's that quick. And this is just 1 angle. Let's say I came up with another angle where I was like, hey, how upset would you be if you lost a $5 watch? Not that upset. But how upset would you be if you lost a $6,000 watch? You'd be really, really upset. And what does this prove? It proves that we value things that cost a lot of money. We take care of things that cost a lot of money. If you want better customers and you charge more, you will get better customers. They will respect you more. They will do the work. They will get the results because they will be invested. I could say something like that. And that could be the cheap watch angle. And boom, now I just do all of this all over again with different images, with a different angle, and bam, you take 240 and you put it to whatever, 480 a day. And again, in just like an hour, you could literally scale this to $5,000 a day if you want, all in little $20 ad sets. In order to understand, okay, well, once I do that, Dan, how do I evaluate the results? How do I know what to turn on and what to shut off? Well, it's simple. If you go here to my other campaign, which you see here, I'm gonna go ahead and click on it. As you can see here in my cold campaign, here's what you're gonna notice. And this is how you make decisions on ads. You wanna look at a few metrics here. You wanna look at your cost per lead, your cost per booked call. You wanna look at your outbound click-through rate. You wanna look at your cost per click. Well, that's really all you need. So your cost per lead is right here. And this is what it costs me to get someone to opt in to watch the VSL. Obviously, I want the lowest cost possible, but I also want low cost per book call, which you can see here, $25 call, $47 call, $26 call, 11 calls for $13, 2 calls for $23, 14 calls for $22. And then over here you see the outbound click-through rate. Now you gotta be very careful when you look at this because it is not the click-through rate. The click-through rate could mean they click on see more on the ad, and that doesn't mean anything. What you want is the outbound click-through rate. That is the amount of clicks or the percentage of clicks that were made that take them off of Facebook to another website, which that other website would be your landing page, okay? That's what we wanna see. Anything over 2% is good. Anything over 5% is frickin' amazing. Anything under 2% is meh. So let's say you don't have a lot of data yet on an ad set on the cost per lead or the cost per call. Because sometimes it does take a little time for that to come in. The early things that we can look at is your outbound click-through rate. So as you can see here, this one is only 1.55%. We haven't got any cost per book call. We haven't got any book calls. We've only spent $24, but we also can see that the cost per lead at $12 is substantially higher than a lot of these. Now, again, I wanna let this run because I've only spent $25 on it and I wanna give it a chance. So I'm not gonna turn that one off, okay? But over here, as you can see, this one's at 5% outbound click-through rate. And that's probably why we're getting such good results here is on this one, only $3.42 per opt-in and 11 calls for $13. So obviously I'm gonna let that run. Another thing you wanna look at is your cost per outbound click. Obviously the lower the better. Now this one right here, I have 1 opt-in for $25 a piece. Very high opt-in cost, but it's only 1. It has a decent outbound click-through rate and a decent cost per outbound click because it's only $1.67. So I'm gonna let this one run. $3.30 per outbound click is pretty high. 1.54% is pretty low for this one. I've spent $26 on this. However, I am only paying $6 per opt-in. So I'm gonna let this one run for a little bit. This one right here is, this is all good metrics. Cost per book call is $25. That's amazing. I'm gonna leave that. And again, all of these that I've launched here are pretty new. The ones that I shut off down here, I shut off because, like for instance, this one I shut off early because yeah, it was I only spent $22 and it was $22 per opt-in, but look at this. It was a very expensive outbound click and it was a very low click-through rate. So I just made the decision, hey, I'm gonna turn this one off because I just don't think it needs to keep running. Now, you could leave that, right? You could leave that and maybe it develops into a better ad set. I just made the decision to shut it off. The point here though is that you wanna shut off the ads that don't exhibit potential or that are expensive, and you wanna leave the ads on that exhibit potential or are not expensive. Now keep in mind, when making decisions on turning on or off these ads, up until this point, I've only showed you the ad sets. Keep in mind, you can click on the actual ad set and look at the ads. So for instance, you will see here that the cost per book call of this ad is $21, right? And it's $4.20 per opt-in, whereas these other ones did not get any opt-ins or calls, but they've only spent a little bit of money, so you'd wanna let those run. But for instance, on one where we might say, okay, we've spent $25. We haven't got we haven't got a booked call, which is totally fine because $25 for a book call is insanely cheap. Normally, I would spend like a couple $100, but on a $25 opt-in, that is a bit high for a lead for one single email. $25 is a little high. So if I click on that and I explore that, I notice, okay, this ad right here, this ad is $20 per opt-in, and the rest, even though they haven't spent a lot, haven't got any opt-ins. Now, if this opt-in was, say, $5 and the rest were more or hadn't got any yet, I could say to myself, ooh, this one ad is doing really well. Maybe I'll turn the other ones off or let it run for a little bit, and if those aren't performing, I'll let this one run, turn those off, and now the ad set itself can keep running because one or two of the ads inside of it is doing well and the others aren't, so you turn those off. So for instance, I might select these and turn these off, but let these run if the results looked promising. But this is one I launched just not even like yesterday, so I need to let it run a little bit more. But to give you one more example, let's just take a look at one that I spent $310 on right here. I got 85 opt-ins for $365 per opt-in, and 14 calls for $22. If I go ahead and I click on that one, you'll notice that on all of the ads, the opt-in is really good. So they're all good. I'll let them all run. And if you notice here, you got cost per book call $17, $13, $43, and $40. So these are all still really good. I'm gonna let them run. But let's just say for a moment that this was 17, this was 13, and this was like 200, and this was like 250. I would turn these off and maximize this, right? And then over time, I'd also go, ooh, this image or this combination works better. In my future ad sets, I'm gonna use those combinations more or do more of things like that. And so you can make on and off decisions both at the ad set level and the ad level. And if all four have bad metrics and the overall ad set has bad metrics, which it would, then you turn that whole ad set off. But if the ad set has bad metrics and maybe half the ads are doing really bad and the other half are doing really good, then you might want to let it run. Well, you would let it run and you turn off the bad ones. But if none of them are doing well, then you turn off the whole thing. And so that is how you can make decisions. And then you can also duplicate those two ads that are doing good and fill out the other four variations with a different version, and maybe those ones work. So for instance, if I were to go in here and I were to click on this and I were to find that this one is getting me $26 book calls, but these ones are just not working out at all, then I might turn these off, duplicate this one right here, and then just do a different version and let it run. And maybe those get closer results to what I'm looking for, okay? So you can duplicate within the ad set and essentially fix it. So this is how I go in and I make these decisions to turn on or turn off or fix these ad and ad sets. Now keep in mind, all of this is gonna depend on how good your copy is, how good your offer is, how good your landing page is, how good your product is. And I'm gonna make videos in the future showing how to do all those things amazingly. Don't worry, Papa Henry got you. The only other thing I'm gonna cover is the retargeting, which the retargeting is very simple. As you see here, I got 5 calls booked for $14. So all I did right here is very simple. I did something very similar, only I've only created one ad set for this, and what that looks like is very simple. I chose the custom conversion to a booked call, not an opt-in, so it's optimizing for booked call. And then what I did here is, instead of taking them to like a landing page, I took them directly to the VSL page. I used a different image that I've never used before, but I used the same headline and the same copy, but just a different image that I hadn't used before. And I took them direct to the VSL page. Because my view is that if they didn't give me their email the first time, they probably don't want to, so let's hit them right to the VSL page and at least get the booked call. Get a chance for them to watch the VSL. And that's the only other thing I'm gonna mention here, is that my targeting is very simple. Anybody that visited either page, so anybody that visited the landing page or the VSL page is gonna see this ad. And I've only tried one variation, but it's producing at 14 bucks a call, so I don't really think I need to do anything. I mean, look at this. Outbound click-through rate is 4%. That's really good. One thing to note here is you don't really want to put too much weight into the cost per outbound click on your retargeting, because all cost per clicks on retargeting are gonna be pretty high, but cost per actual like acquisition or cost per booked call is generally not gonna correlate with that. It's just this weird thing that happens. So for retargeting, don't look so much at the cost per outbound click, look more at the click-through rate and your cost per call. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you very simply create ads that get a really good cost per call, and how you just duplicate and duplicate and duplicate. I work on this 5 minutes a day, every other day. I mean, we've only spent $900 and we've closed 3 of these calls so far, and we have half of them still booked to actually get on the phone and speak, so those could close as well. So the ROI is insane, but again, you need a good offer, you need a good funnel, you need good ad copy, you need good everywhere, and I will make more videos to address that. However, one last thing before I go, and that is the Facebook Ad Planner Trello board, or FAP for short. So this is a Trello board that I made for my students who are in my Digital Millionaire coaching program, which was a $10,000 program, and that is actually the program that this funnel right here sold. And one of the things they got was the Facebook Ad Planner. And what this is instead of a Facebook ads course, this is a Trello board that you can copy, and inside of here is literally like a step-by-step, checkbox by checkbox tutorial on how to set up your ad account, how to do the pixel. And look, there's a Loom video in each one that shows, hey, here's how to set up the pixel. Here's another Loom video on how to set up custom conversions and audiences and lookalike audiences, all this stuff, right? Then where it says cold ad idea, if you click on this, it literally has a Loom that walks step by step and a little bit more detail than what I did on this YouTube video, because it's YouTube and I need to make sure the algorithm and retain viewership, blah, blah, blah. This is more slow, step by step. And you watch this, and then anytime you create a new ad angle, a new campaign, you just go through this checklist, and as long as you check every single box on this, you shouldn't screw up. You shouldn't screw up. And when I launched this, people in my program really started getting amazing results because it's just foolproof. So what you do then is you simply copy this, you add angle name, right? And then what you do is, once you finish checking all these boxes and launch your ad, you move it to live. Once it's in live, you wait a bit, and then you decide, was this a winner or was it a loser? And if it was a loser, you put it here. If it was a winner, you put it here. And then over time, you look at what ads and what angles were losers and what angles were winners. And you can begin to see, hey, this is what's working and this is what's not. You do more of what's working and less of what's not. And so as you go through, your ads will get better and better and better. And this really was the secret for me in getting really good at ads, because I was able to go back and look, hey, this is the common theme of losers, and this is the common theme of winners. And that's why I'm able to create winning ads right off the cuff, right off the gate now, because I know what works and what doesn't, because I've kept track of it and I've done it for so long. I'm gonna give you a copy of this. I will also leave a link to this in the description. And please value this, because literally people paid 10 grand. They didn't pay 10 grand just for this, but this was included in that $10,000 program. And I'm literally giving it to you for free. So if this video brought you value, please recommend it, all that jazz, tell people about it. And if it causes you to have a fully booked sales calendar and you're just overflowing with sales calls and you need a professional certified closer to close those deals, you can head over to closedeals.com and see if we can get one of our badass closers to close your deals for you. Other than that, thank you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you in the next set of videos in which I will teach you more and more how to build your online business. Talk later.